Magnified family, what it do? Kalibito Kilisoko Mufukeng, also known as Mama Magni. I'm not alone. Hope everyone's good. Please don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe. Please share the videos, share them with your aunties on your socials, and make sure you're subscribed because we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers.
Mama magnified. Mama magnified.
The long-awaited video. We are finally here. I've got the most important person in my life. Cool, guys. Even on vacation, we took time out to finally record this video. I got my husband, my best friend. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, Kim Pomufukeng.
Kim Pomufukeng.
Lesogo's husband.
Also known as
Kananelo and Anesu's father. Kawelo's brother.
Ritumet's uncle.
Yeah.
Mama Eni and Stinky's
Son. That's
okay,
me.
that's you. Got it. So guys, I obviously had asked you guys to send through some questions. We're gonna shoot right into it. Some are from WhatsApp, some are from Instagram. Everywhere, all over the show. It seems it was a long-awaited video. I'm just not gonna go in any particular order, and we'll see how far we can get. This video mustn't be too long because we are within the vacations. Some of these are repeat. He hasn't seen these questions, so let's go. Let's shoot right into it. Okay. So the first one says, who's a picky eater between the two of us?
I'm not a picky eater. I'm a particular eater. I don't want to try anything new. I know what I want, then that's what I want. And most of the time it's meat and chips if we eating out.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm all about meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not picky, Nani. No. I'm not picky, I'm simple. I can explore really now.
Yeah. Oh, you explore. Don't say you don't explore, you explore.
But I'm not picky.
You're the one, I want to try sushi. I'm like, okay, good luck. I want to have them chops or I want to have steak. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Who mentioned marriage first?
Who mentioned marriage first? I don't recall us mentioning marriage, but I remember when I was like, no, we're going to get married because we're expecting a child then. And like, yeah, like, oh yeah. Anybody similar, as far as I remember.
Okay.
Your family brought the mulattoes.
Yeah.
Thing is, oh, Mwanaluna has impregnated our child. And then I had told my parents before, and when I told them, I'm like, Harapatale damages. So what we're gonna do is, I'm marrying this person. And when the family came, your family came, then Mama, or rather my family, just brought that to the table to say, okay, we understand all this similar, but our son's intention is to marry your daughter.
So you brought marriage. We can say you.
So now my recollection of bringing up marriage, that's then. I don't know your recollection.
Okay, in conversation for you and I, who spoke about marriage first?
That's what I'm saying. My recollection is that.
Okay.
Maybe when you recall we were sitting at a restaurant and then we spoke about it or whatever, then that's you maybe, or that's me, or whatever the case could have been. But my recollection is that.
Okay.
The marriage part of things was that, even though we already knew we were pregnant and we were intentional about the pregnancy though.
That's true. Who spends more money?
Who spends more money?
Who spends more money? You could either, I spend more frequently, but I don't make expensive purchases. You don't spend often, but your purchases are poof.
That's what I was about to say. Whether like you'll come back home with like the bags every day for 7 days straight. Now I'll be like, baby, here's here's an aircon, here's a dishwasher, so that's me. I'm like, I've always wanted this, so I'm just gonna get it. If it cost me 7,000, I'll pay the 7,000 there.
Yeah.
Where now you'll take the 7,000 and spend it in the next 3 weeks, and I'll be that person. Baby, we got sneakers for everyone. And
yeah. Okay, so
we kind of both spending money. We need to work on that.
Who spends more money?
Oh.
So it's you. We
Yeah,
do
I
need
do.
to work on that. We do.
I do.
How do you keep the spark in your marriage? Step number 1, travel. Just saying.
Okay.
Kyadlala. Travel. Be intentional about date nights, which used to scare me, still scare me. I need a push all the time because I struggle with mom guilt. You guys would have seen from a previous video. I think also what helps to keep the spark in the marriage, I feel that we are more best friends than romantic lovers. So being best friends, we spend enough time together, we communicate, we have fun. Also, one thing, okay, my last one,
Okay.
we laugh a lot. There's a sense of humor in this relationship. Without pointing any fingers, there's the one who keeps the laughing going. Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
but my thing is,
Mm.
this question here, how do you keep the spark going? Takes me back to, there was a time when the spark was gone.
Yeah.
We had lost it, and we had to do like a sit down and recalibrate and have a conversation about it. But are we aware of it? Like we're not as, because the focus was now more on, then I think it was only Gani, the baby, like it was more on Gananelo and running the household. We had forgotten about you and I as like partners and everything. And we had to sit down and actually took into date nights, being intentional about them. Now starting to go through the whole thing, and dude, like we need to shut out Gananelo in a way, not shutting him out as in like Wamu abandon or anything. It's just okay. Right now it's just about you and I. We need to go back to when it was just you and I. What are the things that we enjoyed? What are the things that we wanted to do? And now we start being intentional about, oh baby, there's a concert, this music artist, we go there. Or baby, I think we should go to have a DC, go the beach, just us go and chill there and have a vibe amongst other people having a vibe. So those things are the things that keep things going, because like even within the marriage or within the jolari that we have been doing, we do the dating, I'm trying to get to know you.
Mjolo within marriage.
So it's one of those, when you start doing those things where, and again, it's not one size fit all or anything, but it's one of those, again, the person that you're doing it with, they need to understand the whole thing. Even if when we go out, we'll talk about everything else relationship wise, not necessarily talk about ourselves. And then from those, you just pick up certain things that you maybe need to work on in this relationship or start doing. So we keep the spark going by trying to always reset to the dating point. Like, yeah, I'm Mjolo. I'm trying to court this lady.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to impress this guy
Yeah.
who's courting me. So you just keep on going back to that and try to do different things that you can do. It can be like, we're going out on a date, or I prepared this for you, here's a cup of tea for you, or here's a text, a sweet, nice long text that is telling you how beautiful you are. How, those kind of things are things that are, in someone's eyes, they might be small, but are things that really go and pull the heartstrings and make someone see what the person actually cares and think about when, in as much as you are in your, because in the morning you go to work, I go to work, we are in our worlds, but we always find a way to bring ourselves together, and that thing makes you look forward to coming back home and be like, phew, you know, the day I had, and the text that you sent me, or that, rather the phone call that you made
There's
a
an
whole difference.
anticipation to
Yeah.
want to be with you as well.
Mhm.
So Mjolo within marriage, go back to the basics. How do you and your partner manage to combine work, friends, kids, and alone time? By the way, baby, these questions, they're not directed at you only.
Yeah, so
Don't feel for them.
talking to that goes back to what you said earlier, be intentional. With your friends, you are intentional with your friends to say, guys, let's meet this weekend. And when I say to the guys, let's meet up this weekend with the friends, or it's a Friday afternoon after work, I'm like, baby, I'm having boys' night out with the guys or after work drinks with the boys, you don't have that thing out. Baby, why are you going out? So it's always one of those that we always preach to say we need to always keep our individuality and our togetherness.
Yeah.
So in as much as we are together and we are building this thing together, I still need to bring myself as me individually, independent of what we have. So me going out with my friends is me embracing that individuality that I have, because that's me. It has nothing to do with you, because you never choose my friends for me. I chose my friends for myself, and those are the people that build me to be the person who can come back and pour into your cup and maybe talk certain things out with you through them, learning from them and their own experiences. And then so now the balance comes from that way. It's kind of like you have a department of friendship, department of marriage, department of children, and the department of household kind of thing. And you know, whenever something is not going right, maybe in the marriage part of things, the first place that you need to go to is you need to go to your friends, who you can go on and complain to them about, let's say, and you know, if you complain to your friends about Lesego, they're not going to come and tell Lesego you're complaining about Lesego. It's that thing you're venting, you're letting it out, and then they can show you a different perspective, or they can guide you, or they can maybe ground you. They don't even have to give you advice. They can help you go back into your thoughts and come back and be like, oh, I'm trying killing irritated the guy from this, it doesn't even really matter. So that's what happens. So understanding the contribution of each and every area of your life contributes into your life. That's what drives, or rather that helps to balance out throughout everything. In no matter how much busy our lives are, I need to make time for my friends, I need to make time for my family, I need to make time for work, I need to make time for my kids. You know, actually, even work, unfortunately, because of the world that we're living in and how things are, you don't need to make time for work. You need to build everything around work. Unfortunately, that's
the nature of
what we're in. So with that happening, it creates the whole thing out. Work is set. You don't have to work about. So all you need to do with work is set your boundaries. They need to know if you start work at 8, at 5 you end. No one should be calling you ka 5:5.
Yeah, that's us. That's you and I.
Ka 5 it ended.
When work is done, it's done.
Work is done, is done. I'm not gonna be pulling out a laptop ka 7 o'clock when you're supposed to be having dinner. I'm not gonna be running out and saying I have a client that no. Those things don't happen. Is 8 to 5. I'm gonna work those 9 hours, do everything that needs to be done within those 9 hours. If you need anything that is like additional, then that will be handled tomorrow morning at 8. Because
it's now family time.
Family time is family time, no compromise. Listen to Kananelo talk his things, anesu, being spicy and all. So that's, and all these things, unfortunately, or rather fortunately enough, it's things that actually help pour in energy. Like, more especially when it comes to work, work will drain you. And then when you look into your family time, having the kids playing and everything, now it pours back into you, and the draining that work did, you start becoming fulfilled. That is why sometimes is, I do this for these people. So when this you do, you put in the energy. When you come here, they pour back the energy, and then you have more energy to restart again tomorrow. So that's how I feel about it. It's not a matter of balancing, because there's never a time where you're going to have everything like daily level. Sometimes it's this up here, and then it's helping this, and sometimes it's this. So that's how it works. You just need to know how to juggle and keep things in a flowing state.
Like that is analogy of a person juggling balls. Almost. I think from a more practical perspective, what I could add is also working on our strengths and weaknesses, in the sense that, like, okay, from a practical perspective, I believe I'm structured, maybe because of my work, you know, calendar planning in. So when it comes to whether it's our travels, things we need to do, the children's activities at school, I always have everything in a calendar. And I'm always able to preempt, oh, babe, next week we need, I don't know, Kokani school or Anesu school, it's family day, and we need to wear blue jeans and white t-shirts. Do we all have white t-shirts? So it's also that thing of understanding strengths and weaknesses, or whoever's good guy, and take that and ensure that the running of the household, the running of the friendships, work and everything still stays in afloat, actually. Yeah. So it says, the next question, how do you two get through difficult times as a couple?
We took them out.
Yeah.
We sit and say, this is what we're facing, this is what's happening, and what is it that is in our control that we can work on and make the situation better, and then we focus on that. I think for me, the main thing has always been that thing, yeah, what's in our control? When we talk tough times, like for example, let's say death in a family. If someone has died, there's nothing you can do, you're not going to bring them back. Is the person is dead, what are we going to do? Okay, I miss this person, I'm going to cry. Okay, cry it out. Cry until your eyes are bloodshot red and everything, and then we can sit down and then now you reminisce about the person. You know, I remember when we used to do this, mama, it was that sharp. Okay, at least for me, that's how I see things. And even it's a financial situation is, do we have the means to go and settle that or pay for that? No, we don't. So we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay, sharp, we're not gonna do it. So it's always a matter of communication, and with the communication, you don't communicate like hypothetically. It's always like, here's the situation is here.
Let's talk, yeah.
Dude, do you have that extra 20K? Nah, I don't have the extra 20K. Okay, cool. So what are we gonna do? If 5K can help the situation, I'll put in 5K. Okay, cool. Let's put in that 5K. We put in that 5K. So, but outside of that, for me at least, I don't know of anything, but we check it out.
Difficult
we put it on the
times,
table, or dude, who should be the no? How should be the
But babe, I think even difficult times, the one thing I'm happy about you and we always also operate as a unit, as a team. We hardly ever pull in different directions, and I think that is also it's a plus.
Yeah, that is why it goes back to the talking part of things, because as a team, we are able to, when we see a difficult time, we see it as a team. It's not like difficult time is happening and then you running into it by yourself and whatever. We always see it and then we both sit down with it and be like, so what do we do? Or if it's a you who's facing it, who has to go through it, is, baby, how do I support you going through that? Or how do we plan for it for you to be equipped to attack it? That kind of thing. It's not something that comes and we just leave it there.
Yeah. Hey, the question is there.
Let's not get personal. Like,
yeah, are you enjoying them?
Yeah. So far.
Barry, I like this because it's specific. What doesn't Tate Mofokeng love about being married to you or being your better half?
I like that we're a team. And in as much as we have our own roles, but we are able to also cover each other's shortcomings.
No, but what do you love about me?
Being married to you.
Oh, so...
Listen.
You listen judge. And you don't judge. Okay.
So, that thing where we are able to be a team. This is about us being married together. And in as much as we both have our own roles that we play, but we are able to say, I'll use a soccer analogy. As a striker, you need to come now and defend so that the opponent doesn't score. You are able to leave the striker position and come. And then now as a defender, I'm able to now go and score goals maybe at times when the striker is like, hey, my guy, I don't have the legs to. You in the box, you should put the ball in the net. We are able to navigate those. We have our roles, but our roles are not set in stone. They're malleable in a way, and now I can give you a certain role that I was supposed to play and you play it, and then I take one of your roles and I play it. So that's one thing I like about being married to you, because I've noticed, or rather seen on TV with other couples, it's my duty is taking the kids to school and bringing them back, and then when they get back home, you help them with homework. So if it happens on that day, you get the kids from school, you do your role, bring them back home to help them with their homework, and I'm out with the boys for drinks. Now is like, when you were supposed to be here yesterday to help the kids with the homework and you were not there. But the way we have our thing is, oh, I'm home and that one is out with the boys having drinks. Let me do the homework with the kids.
Yeah.
So the roles are malleable in that way. We don't have like our
The roles are here?
malleable, like they can.
Valuable.
So they're flexible.
If
So
we're not recording a video, you know I was gonna Google it already
I know.
to check what's
So it's one of those for us, we not boxing each other.
No.
That is what I like about our marriage, because I think even with the datings and the Mjolos that I've heard before, which they were not marriage, but you could already see someone wants you to be this as a man in the relationship. There's things that as a man in a relationship are just for you,
Yeah.
but there are things that are really like, no, dude, like anyone and everyone can do this,
Yeah.
and then you can be able to do that kind of
Yeah.
vibe, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I like. That was the question.
Yeah.
I answered the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's your. Is that all that you love about being married to me? Okay, what do you
No.
love about me, Faye? I'm adding that one. Just one thing, Faye.
I like that you are very outgoing, and one thing as well is like Kitlari. You are, and so it's gonna go back to the gender roles I was talking about.
Okay.
The mere fact that that is there is mainly because of your personality. You are a person who's able to adapt, who's able to read a situation and be into that, than always being, hey, this is not so. No.
Okay.
And you know me, I don't like this thing like, no, this is so. No. That's disgusting. Hey, this plate is dirty. No, I don't like that. I want us to be, baby, make it for you. Okay, I'll be there. Sure. I got my name. I shall be there. And then, so I like that. Like, the understanding for other people,
Yeah.
than trying
Empathy.
to, yeah, empathetic.
I'm an empathetic
Very,
person,
you know, that kind of person who feels the other person's shoes and they interact with every human being as human beings,
Yeah.
than always trying to be like the main character. Or, I'm the boss, you need to serve me. You have that. You have that down to earth thing, yeah. Okay. You are kind.
Okay.
Love
I
it.
guess this one is, well, how do you prefer to handle disagreements? We've answered that, ne?
I think
Disagreements.
just like challenges, we speak them out.
No, but baby, also disagreements. Maybe if I've annoyed you got something, or boring.
Same
How do we
thing.
handle that
Same thing happens.
in communication? We should
Talk
talk.
it out. I'll tell you, Jorge. And okay, here's the thing about it.
Okay,
most
wait
of the
a
time,
second. Let's. But,
most-
okay.
most of the time with the part A, you know, like the disagreement. When we try to talk it out, what would happen is that thing, Yahweh, the other party would wanna be defensive to whatever that they put to the table. And in that defense now is like it builds up and it just spirals out. And recently, it's a conversation that we had. Recently, we've been talking Karani and out. If the other party is not happy about something and they voice it out, it's not a cue for you to come and defend your point.
Yeah.
It's cue to say, listen from my perspective, or what is it that I'm saying?
To understand.
And then once you understand what I'm saying, you can come and defend it, but defend it from a point of view. And now, okay, let's look at a middle ground that we can get to, or let's look at you understanding my point, Mara, not trying to be defensive, but bringing on your perspective as well to say, the reason I do this is because of.
And then we say, okay, how do we navigate?
How do we
this time?
navigate
Now
it?
that I understand.
Or maybe even then now I find myself understanding, oh, actually I misread it. I need to take a step back and actually look at it from your point of view. And then,
But it's also in the, when we do sit down and talk, I think we spoke about this earlier, we also need to, when you voice out whether I don't like this in, give the full context. And when I give it, ensure when on the other side that you also listen to understand being in my shoes.
yeah.
And yes, I didn't mean to hurt you, whatever. That's not, we're not going to the defense mode. I didn't do that. You listen, I share it with context, and you listen to understand, and then we say, record drawing board.
Yeah.
How do we move forward?
How
So,
we, yeah.
A lot of them are quite similar, so I won't repeat them for the sake of time. The next question: how did Mpo officially ask you out? Lol. I'm literally reading them as they are. I'm tempted to tell you who asked, but I'll show you afterwards. That's not the point.
So what happened was, actually, the first interaction was on Instagram under a friend's post. In that friend's post, I commented, and then you replied to my comment, but just adding to like what I was saying to the post. And then we started just kind of like having a short conversation under that post.
Under that person's post, in the comment section.
In the comment section, and then that went into inbox, and then in the inbox, then it went to getting your numbers, got your numbers, and then we started talking on the phone. And then as we were talking on the phone, then we planned our, or rather, I asked you like, come to the Val Emerald Day, guy, let's meet up there.
We were speaking on the phone for a full month.
Yeah, we
Telephonically.
we. That's what I'm saying. It was conversations now on the phone and WhatsApp and that, and then it was that. Well, let's meet up, and then we met up. Go Emerald Day. That was that, and
Yeah. How did you ask me out, baby? That's what it's asking.
I asked you out.
Did you ever say, please be my girlfriend?
No, I never said that.
So you didn't ask me out?
There's no. I know. I wrote you a letter.
Yes.
While we were dating. We were dating already. And in that letter, the letter was coming from a perspective of me being single, never even knowing that I'll meet someone. And I had met you and we were dating, now we're a thing. And then I gave you that letter, which kind of gave that.
So you wrote the letter before even meeting me?
Yeah.
And you, like you're saying, it was in the perspective of you being single?
Yeah.
But you were writing it to your future wife?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, and I gave the context. And then, however many long later, I don't know when you wrote that letter, we met, whatever. And then I don't know when you decided to give me that letter. And then you told me, oh, this letter, you actually wrote it. It's a letter you wrote
some time ago.
You didn't even know that. You knew your future wife exists, but you didn't know me. And then I was there. Maybe, that is how you asked me out, actually. With that letter. And I still have it.
And I think we had just known whether we are pregnant when I decided to give you the letter. I didn't give you the letter
No,
before
baby.
we
Is it?
were pregnant. I don't think I gave you the letter before we were pregnant.
Okay. You would know. How can women see how can a woman see if guys in the DMs are serious?
There's no way of seeing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah?
There's no way to see if the guy's serious.
Sana.
In the DMs, I'm not gonna lie.
But now, you know how we always say to people, socials, like, keep your eyes peeled. Look, I met him on the socials. So, it's a fair question. I'm not saying I have the answer, but I can see why this person would ask. Because that means that not really busy everybody could DM.
But that's the thing about, like, besides, let's say it's not a guy in the DM. Just a guy who walks up to you in the street.
Yeah.
And ask you out on a date. How do you know if they're serious?
Can't know.
So that's the thing. It's always about a gamble. The only person who would know if they are serious or they mean well is the guy.
Okay. True.
You can't tell someone's intentions.
Yeah.
Because even the guy in the DM, if you wanna test their seriousness, you'll be like, I'm paid 3,000. That guy has 50 million in his account.
Yeah.
He sends you 10,000 right now. And you're gonna feel like, oh, this one is serious. And then after he gets whatever that he was looking for from you, he keeps it moving and you're like, this guy spent 2 million on me, but
yeah.
So there's no way of telling. It's always the guy who knows.
Okay. Fair enough. I can't add, guys. Khatwe, what is a good conflict management method for men in relationships? How do men want conflict to be handled in relationships?
Let the situation come. Like, be calm.
Calm.
Be calm, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Tola moya.
then we can sit and talk about it. That is why the minute, hey, when and then I'll look at you like, yeah, askis. I never had a word that you said. And for when, because you vented and you were there, you feel like it's resolved. He knows what, but I never heard anything. That is why even some men, they actually even just leave you talking by yourself. They walk out. So
Because you're not calm in the
Exactly.
time of
yeah. So
conflict.
So whenever there's conflict, don't try to address or want to address conflict with the emotions that are heightened.
Okay.
Everyone needs to be calm, and in the calm state, not emotional, be a little bit more logical than emotional. Because anything that comes with emotion, it's passionate, it's something that you feel deeply, and you always feel you are right, than looking at it, but actually, okay, at the moment when I was doing that, I was right, but the way it came across to my person, or the way it impacted my person, it was not so right.
It's not the one.
So, conflict, try not to address conflict in emotions, but more on a logical level.
Okay.
That's a better conflict management part of things.
For men and in a calm state.
Be calm. That is why men, they switch off when you shout at them or when you raise your voice.
Okay.
I know there's
Hey,
men
guys,
out
let's
there,
do better.
but again, there's men out there who like raising their voices.
As well. Okay, but at least this question is asking how men. Okay, anyway.
But essentially, baby, like, if we were to be honest, for both men and women, we need to work on our emotional intelligence more than anything. Anyone and everyone who's to interact with other human beings in this world, of which is everyone, work on your emotional intelligence, where you are able to read the room, read the person. If the person who express whatever that they're feeling emotional, or they even crying and what, don't try and show them how wrong they are, or how unfair they're being, or how just work on getting them to be calm, but be relaxed and have a clear mind, and then now we can address whatever the issue could have been.
Yeah.
Because that's all we need.
Sure. Halala. How does a woman's seems to be addressed to me. How does a woman see if a man is serious about them?
I think
Yeah.
actually we were supposed to answer that, but
No. It's the same person. So, how can women see? How does a woman see? Oh, it's right.
it's the same thing.
Same, sorry.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Sorry, my love.
Okay.
Excuse me. Please give advice on women raising boys. I like this question when I saw it because I had to acknowledge. Can I give an example?
Okay.
I don't know what had happened with Kananelo or Anesu. Most likely Kananelo. Obviously Kananelo is a long-standing parenting geek. And I don't know, I think I somewhat took an approach. I can't remember what happened, so I don't want to sound wishy-washy. But anyway, I took whatever approach in that situation, no, can you do this or whatever, right? And then I like how my husband, not in that time, maybe it was tomorrow or whatever, when we were sitting together, you actually sat me down and said, you explained to me how we could have handled the situation or that circumstance in a different way. But I also like how you gave me context to say, no, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm a man. And I understand how you are a boy who did boys things. You are a boy who knows a boy's mind. You are a father who's raising a boy to become a man. So you already have better context of why you were saying Rinkeka angle in. That's why I enjoyed this question, because although I'm a mother, and sometimes because we are the one who carried the children and we birthed them, we are mistakes of thinking we are the only ones who knows what's best for children. But now I come from a family where I've got 4 sisters, even in our cousins it's girls, and he had to make me realize in a very gentle way to say, not that I could be much, but he showed me that the reason why he said we must do that thing is because he understands the mind of a boy child, you know, and we're obviously raising them with the mindset of the man that they will be in the community, in a home, in a whatever. So this question I'm going to leave to you, because I'll make an example. Most times I lead with emotions because I'm a mother, you know, like unless you did something wrong, we must discipline him, and then you discipline him, and then he's crying, or he's sad, he's coming to me. He's being disciplined, you know. But at that time, that's not what the child needs. Only that discipline. And we can almost see or predict if discipline doesn't come in from both of us. If he ends up between the children, if they end up seeing mommy's the soft one, this one cannot disciplinarian, they can end up seeing there's division between us as parents. But that's probably deviating. How do we raise boy children? What is the question? Please give advice on women raising boys.
No,
I digressed.
The thing is, women tend to be overprotective. And with the boys, it's one of those where it's hot there. Let him put his finger in there and burn. And then after that, you attend to the burning and you're like, you understand why she said I'm a boy? Yeah, now he knows that I'm not going to play with fire. So with boys are always trying to push the boundaries. That is why the boy will climb on the couch and try to jump down. Like, okay, jump down, my boy, and see how it ends. And then you'll know next time, you mustn't climb up there. But sometimes it happens, he's going to climb, fall down, hurt himself, and he's still going to want to climb again. That's how boys are. Boys, they just experimental with things and they're always trying to push boundaries. So as a mother, most of the time for women, you're always trying to put the limitations. This is my baby. My baby has to be. No. Let the boy be the boy. And more especially, let the boy go and play with other boys. Rough him up a bit. Not rough him up in a way that they're bullying him or anything. There are certain things as a parent when your child comes and tells you, so-and-so was busy telling me I'm ugly. Okay, so why didn't you tell them that they're ugly too? Or why don't you tell them, I'm ugly as your mom? Or something like that. Like, give it back. Once you get in, give it back. Don't just come here and then now I have to go back there and say, why is your child calling my child ugly? Like, no.
But remember even that example when we were speaking about, I think Kanye started school or whatever, but he's like, he came to you and he said, Mang hit me. And then you were like, next time when someone hits you, you hit them back. And then I was like, no, baby, that's violent. And then you're like,
it's not violence. It's...
My babes, the issue is that every time when someone hits them and they don't hit back, they don't stand up for themselves, they're going to end up being the doormat to children in the playground.
Exactly.
So you had to make me understand, now your child is going to be that sissy or that doormat that everyone hits and he can't stand up for himself.
And in that very same light, you highlight the very first thing. You don't hit first.
Okay.
When they hit you, you're only protecting yourself. You're not the aggressor.
Okay.
So you were being hit, you had to protect yourself. You were not going to protect yourself by covering your face and what you have to hit back 10 times harder than the way they hit you. But it means for now, don't go out there hitting people just, no. When they try, if you feel you're under threat, protect yourself. That's all.
And from a value standpoint, baby,
value.
Yeah, like a value.
So
the man will become. What can we add there?
Baby, the values are always for me just be a kind person, just be a respectful person, just like those two things, loving and caring. It's like the extension of the two, but the main thing, be respectful. When you're respectful, that is why even when we work in the shopping center with the boys, and we passing maybe a lady who's cleaning Melissa, and then Yana is keeping quiet, I pull him back. I'm like, do Melissa boy, and then I do Melissa, and then we go. And then when we everywhere, when we get into a shop or when we get into an Uber, I'm like, dude, did you greet the driver? You just don't walk in. So those kind of things, be have that humanity in you. Hore. Every human being is a human being at the level that you're a human being at. No matter what you have, you are still guided by these principles. Be kind, be respectful. And if you have those attributes in you, anywhere you go, everyone is going to see the light that is meant to shine in you, because you're shining your light to them as well. And always.
Side comment, again, I've seen that work, because now there's times when I'm with the boys in the shops. Probably I'm in my own world. Hello, dumelang. And that's held me accountable, because now I look like the rude, snobbish mom. Maybe I'm in my own world, I'm looking for whatever. And it put me on the spotlight, because now they're greeting and I didn't, you see. So as much as we are teaching them these things, they learn from what we do, not what we say. So thank you for that, babe. Khatwe, who initiated the first kiss?
You did.
When, baby?
When we were walking towards the riverbank, or from one of
baby.
the two,
When we went,
and then
when we were walking
called
by
me.
the riverbank. After the first date, we walked to.
I can't even remember the first date. We were at that restaurant, had our whatever, and then we walked down, go into the river.
To the river, yeah.
And then we went to the the boat, where the boats are.
Like the harbor or
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that, yeah. And then we walked back, and then as we were coming back, and then you pulled me, and oh, we kissing now.
And the sun was setting.
So that whole thing, yeah.
So it was me.
Yeah, it was you.
But look now, anyway. When did you know that he was the one, and vice versa? When did I know that Mpo was the one? It was on that first date.
We're on the first date, yeah.
We're at Emerald. So after we met on our first date, we actually got on our first kiss. Okay, partially I sort of knew, but maybe not. I was just like, okay, this is worth exploring. But I think it was the next few coming weekends when we were just spending all of our time together, even outside of work. Like, we'd go to work, come back. The weekends were worse, because from Friday to Sunday, we were just together in the house. The world didn't exist.
Yeah,
we did nothing. We were just spending so much time together. And I can't say when, but it was within that period when we just didn't see anyone else. We were in our cocoon, talking, just getting to know one another. We were in a bubble, having proper conversations, like solid conversations, but also fun, chilling. And I think that's when I knew the one, because one of my biggest love languages is time spent. Like, if you give me time, like in my head, I'm thinking, this guy's just here with me. And the kind of conversations we were having, and I got to know the type of person you are, I knew he's the one. When same time, Ren.
So for me, I wanna say, like, the minute I saw you walk out of the car, because I you remember you were parked that side, I'm like, come this side, and then you came, and then you parked, and then you got out of the car, and I was standing there looking at you. I'm like, here's this person. And there I'm like, somewhat in my head, I'm like, this is the one. Because when we met, I was in my whole phase then. I had just come out of a breakup. That was really painful and whatnot. And I was in the I get. I was in that stage.
Yeah.
So I saw you, I'm like, another I get. Yeah, I fell. And then I'm like, okay. And then we spent the weekends. And then there and there. And okay, after spending the first weekend, I'm like, this is it. And then now we started doing, like, making it our thing. Like, from August up until probably December, we were inseparable.
Yeah.
Like, no one was, like, if you wanted to see any of us, it was like, you come here. If you invite us anywhere, we'll come, but we are together. Like, that's how it was. And in the first times when we were spending together, I'm like, this is it. I don't need anything more than this. This is it. Because all I've ever wanted, honestly speaking, was one of those. I just want to be with my baby and we just smoking happily, having drinks, watching TV, laughing, having a good conversation. We take out games, nyana. Maybe we're playing Scrabble, we're playing whatever. That's all I ever wanted. And when we started spending time together, that's what we got. Or that's what I got rather. And that was like, this I'm not letting go of. This is my woman. This is what was meant for me. Like, it was written in the stars and
Awesome.
it's meant to be. No fight in this.
Hey!